as they showed last night at times against Kewanee. They're also capable of getting out and pushing it up the floor. They won over the Boilers in overtime. No shots taken by West Frankfort as yet. Lance Harris has the only shot of the ball game for Ohio. Fiore holding. They lob inside to Pulaski. Stolen away by the Bulldogs. Deflected by Dave Doran. Stolen by Darren Schultz, who goes around, lays it up too hard. Tim Fairhair with the board. It won't go, and called down by Tom Pulaski. Pulaski on the defensive glass. Glances over at the players' bench and coach Dave Lee. Now across the Henson. Still no score. 6.5 left to go in the first quarter. Fiore drifting in the corner where he's picked off by Pickett. Pickett knocks it away, but it's retrieved right back out front by Henson. Back to Fiore. Fiore cut off by Pickett. Pickett steals and knocks it out of bounds. Everybody talks about Brad Pickett's offensive play. He didn't play the D a little bit too, so can Harris.
Yeah, real quick hand.
Settling down to a real cat and mouse game here at the start. West Frankfort going to play it cautious.
I think you'll note that Tom Pulaski will be moving away from the goal a little bit more. He's not getting the ball enough in there.
He got it at 15, out to Snyder. His jumper, air ball, and Pickett has it. Brad Pickett, tournament scoring leader thus far. Works off to Lance Harris. Boy, what a show these two kids put on last night. They electrified the Assembly Hall.
Definitely 1-2-2 zone, Mark.
Well, I called one right here at the start, huh?
Sure, right on.
That's the upset of the tournament. Here's Harris down the lane. His shot was blocked by Pulaski, but Lance Harris gets it right back. He penetrates. Little guy is fearless. He rolls the shot up, won't get it. Fairhair follows. He can't get it. Still no score, and Henson rebound. Lance Harris would circle in along the Sherwood Forest, I think, and try to hit a layup. Left side of the floor with the Snyder for the Redbirds from West Frankfort. Chris Snyder. What a turnaround year West Frankfort had. Boy, you hit a lengthy losing streak in mid-season. This one you're supposed to be coming on. You tend to think, boy, maybe everything's going downhill for us, but they pulled it back together. And they're one game away at this one from a shot at the state championship. Of course, Ohio has been going well all year. Their only 2 losses to the Anawan Braves in their own conference. Still no scores. This is not a tempo Ohio-like, I'll guarantee you.
The defense is good, though.
Excellent. Fiore to Henson. Henson out front. Gets the ball. Snyder. He tried it. The only trouble with a brand of ball of this sort, every mistake is monumental. There's Lloyd Johnson talking with his assistant Rick Kamrath on the bench, and there's David Lee. Boy, is he into it, huh? Dave long since has gotten rid of the sport coat. Rolled up his sleeves. It's business hour. Office is open. Fairhair, top of the circle. No score. Kid misses a layup here. He misses a chance to be high point man. On the right wing with it is Lance Harris. Harris trying to penetrate. He backs up. Out between the circles. Pickett sets the pick. Harris goes in the right corner to Brad Pickett. Pickett slides. Shot is deflected from behind. Schultz had it. The ball is loose on the floor. Schultz dives to the basketball. Still loose. And out with it finally comes Henson for West Frankfort. Mike flies over the timeline. Henson left side of the free throw lane. He circles back up. As quickly, the Ohio Bulldogs got organized on defense. They go inside now. Turnaround effort is up and in by Dwayne Summers of West Frankfort. First bucket of the ball game, and it's 2-0. The first field goal comes at about the 4:07 mark in the opening period. Lance Harris for Ohio. Lance lobs to Dave Doran, left corner. Back out to Harris. Harris looks in low to Fairhair. Really a packed-in defense. West Frankfort is not going to give the lane to Lance Harris. Jumper by Schultz is no good on the perimeter. Rebound is hauled down and controlled by Fiore. Andy Fiore gets it out. He now bounce pass off and clears to Mike Henson. There you see Henson bringing the ball methodically up to the 10-second line. 2-0, West Frankfort leading. 3:35 for the first quarter. Backdoor feed and a foul. They got the ball low to Summers, and Summers was wrapped up and fouled by Darren Schultz. Well, and Schultz is his first.
I think that Ohio is kind of sloughing off of Summers and therefore leaving him open back there. He was open earlier in the ball.
He's out of they lost him in the zone somewhere.
I think that they're kind of sloughing off on him.
Good pass to get the ball to him. At the line shooting 2 will be Dwayne Summers. Free throw shooter, so-so, 58%. Most coaches will not consider that very good. Free throw. Good. One more throw coming to Dwayne Summers. Well, Frankfort, in the slowly paced ball game, has ballooned this all the way to a 3-0 lead over Ohio. Second throw, in and out. The rebound is controlled by Fairhair. Tim Fairhair to Lance Harris. You can see Ohio trying to pick up the tempo. Harris going in the right corner, dribbles behind his back. Fiore's on him. They think they're chasing Harris with a man-to-man. In fact, there's the Redbirds may have gone man-to-man. Help their zone. They're chasing on Harris, however, and here is a foul on Andy Fiore. Away from the ball, Fiore picks up a foul for West Frankfort. First foul on the Redbirds. It'll be a common violation. Looks like crafty David Lee is changing up that defense a little bit. He's got a chaser on Harris, and it's Andy Fiore right now. Let's see what they're doing with Bickett, fellas. Give me a little help here. See if you can spot it inside. Harris on the drive. Jumper by Lance won't go. Rebound. Hauled down by Summers. Off to Pulaski. Pulaski, right corner. Works to Henson. Henson gets the ball to Dwayne Summers in the paint. His shot just carrying on the outer eye. Pulaski tries to make the save. Swats it in. Ball is loose. And up with the ball comes West Frankfort. Knocked away by Bickett, and Bickett fouled him. First foul on Bickett. So Bickett, Schultz, and Harris all have one foul. Ohio hasn't scored as yet. 2:55 to go in the quarter, and we got an official timeout in the Assembly Hall with West Frankfort leading 3-0. One of your network sponsors is Lasso. Down to just a shade less than 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. An official timeout. Ohio's having trouble penetrating, Frank.
They are, but they are an explosive team, as we saw yesterday when they came out of the blocks with 10 out of 11 from the field, and they can score points in a hurry.
And West Frankfort's having a little more trouble than I might have anticipated with the Ohio zone. West Frankfort isn't all that tall, with the exception of Pulaski at 6'5", so the matchup is maybe a little better than it looks on paper. Here's Fiore to the baseline for the Redbirds. He rolls it off. Rebound Summers. He scores, and he was fouled. Dwayne Summers got it on the offensive iron. Foul is on Bickett.
Summers just keeps battling in there. He's so strong. He's awfully hard to get off another goal. He's a high scorer. He scored them all.
Yeah.
Art, you've seen these teams play all year. Does Bickett and Harris get into much foul trouble?
Yes, but they've played with it. Usually, well, both of them commonly will have 3 fouls, even early in the third quarter. They're youngsters who have been able to play in foul trouble. Harris, great move, but it won't go. Harris bobbed and weaved, as you saw, tipped his way down the lane.
Summers on the rebound again.
Summers playing a ton right now, isn't he? Out here to Mike Henson. Henson being picked up by Lance Harris out front, right side to Fiore. 6-0 ball game. West Frankfort leading over Ohio. Lower bracket semifinal. Pulaski to Henson. Henson holds it. Harris is on it. Right wing Fiore. Fiore looks inside the Ohio zone. They're sticking with that 1-3-1. We're in the first period of play. By far the lowest scoring game in the Assembly Hall thus far.
They're denying the ball to Pulaski very, very well. It's 6 minutes gone. He hasn't had a shot yet.
All right, there he has the ball on the right wing. Good point, Bob. And now trying to find a good position under that defense. Henson's jumper won't go. Doran had the rebound, lost it. And again, Summers picks it up. Summers feeds on the baseline, and West Frankfort clears it. He got it over to Chris Snyder. Great hustling play by Dwayne Summers. Down to 1:35 to go in the quarter. Backdoor feed for Summers, and Dave Doran knocked it out of bounds. Right now, situation, I know coaches always compliment their youngsters for as well. Every loose ball is going to West Frankfort. They're scrambling, really hustling. Henson's jumper. It won't drop. Rebound. Fairher battled his teammate Dave Doran. He cleared it down to Bickett. Here's Brad on the dribble drive to the hoop. It will not go down. Rebound controlled by Mike Henson for the Redbirds of West Frankfort. He moves it up quickly to Snyder. Knocked away. Loose. Pulaski with the ball. Rebound. Bickett. Boy, the Bickett has to snap that one out of there. Here's Ohio. They run all over Harris. The foul is on Mike Henson. Suddenly the tempo, after being very, very slow down, calm, cool, collected, if you will, accelerated.
I think West Frankfort will take an opportunity break, but Ohio thinks every break's an opportunity.
That's good analogy. Now, Lance Harris. Tell you one thing, Ohio hasn't been shut out in the quarters this year. I'll guarantee you that. And they haven't scored it yet in this one. Down under a minute. On the drive, the ball was knocked away. Loose. Bickett tries to retrieve in the corner. West Frankfort has the basketball. Ohio is losing the ball in the penetration moves. They've been able to move inside on everybody they've played this year. I mean everybody. And haven't lost the ball frequently. So far this afternoon against West Frankfort, They have not been able to move the ball inside without losing it. Here's the lob down to Andy Fiore for the Redbirds. He comes out front, works to Snyder. Snyder off to Mike Henson. Henson right back to Chris Snyder. Snyder a little ball fake, and of course West Frankfort used to this brand of basketball. They're running down for one shot, obviously, but this has been their basic offense the first period. Fiore to Pulaski to Snyder. Out front now to Mike Henson, senior veteran, to Tom Pulaski. Pulaski lobs the pass, little jump pass over here to Snyder, right back out front to Henson. We're down to 13 seconds. Down to 11 seconds to go in the quarter. 6-0, West Frankfort leading Ohio. Ball left wing, now to Pulaski, goes all the way to the baseline, and we're going to have a pushing foul called against Chris Snyder. 3-second violation, I beg your pardon. It was not a foul. The way he looked at Snyder, I thought he called something on him.
Yeah, I did too.
That was not the case.
Like still pushing on him.
3 seconds to go in the game's first period. Bickett, back iron, and that's it. And at the end of the quarter, Frankfort is shutting out Ohio, but not by much. It's Frankfort 6 and Ohio nothing after one, and one of your network sponsors is DeKalb Pfizer Genetics. Ball is knocked away loose. Darren Schultz picks it up for Ohio on the steal. He's mugged. It comes over the timeline as Wayne Summers bounced off of him. Now Lance Harris. Harris goes right in at Pulaski. Shot is blocked and a foul. Foul whistle on the inside as Lance Harris put the Heat where they wanted. He moved in against Mike Henson. We'll see it again.
Lance Harris is still trying to penetrate and doing a good job. I thought he might, after the first quarter, begin to take it up and shoot the 20-footer. He's still trying to penetrate.
He'll probably do a little goal before the afternoon's over, but he's at the line trying to break the shutout, and he misses. Well, Ohio can't buy one, and Harris, who is a 77% free throw shooter, did not have a great night at the line last night. He was 4 of 6. Well, he didn't have a bad night either. Just when you see Harris miss one, you're really surprised. So Ohio was on the board at 6-1 on the Lance Harris free throw, and we're in the second quarter. If you just joined us. Chris Snyder across. Out front now to Mike Henson. Henson lobs to Andy Fiore. Basically a battle of zone defense. All a little man-to-man defense being used on Harris. Here's an offensive foul on Fiore. Andy Fiore slid the baseline, was called for the offensive foul as a couple of Bulldogs slid over and got good position. Looked like Dave Dorn primarily. There's a look at Tim Fairher as he goes back down on offense.
Art, I think Ohio would like to press on the full court, but you've got to score in order to set that up.
That's right. Got to get the offense in gear a little bit. 6-1 ball game, Frankfort leading. Pass comes out top of the circle to Dave Dorn. Here's Brad Bickett on the turnaround. It will not go. Sophomore on the rebound. Fairher. Tim Fairher out of traffic. He muscled the ball home. The 6'2" and 200-pound senior. And David Lee wanted a foul call or something. Didn't get it on the West Frankfort bench. 6-3. First field goal for Ohio in the ball game. Driving the ball down is Snyder. Inside to Summers. Rolls it home. Wayne Summers continues to have all of the points for West Frankfort in an 8-3 ball game. We're in the second quarter as Lance Harris brings it up for Ohio. The Bulldogs, an enrollment of 70 officially now. They had 69 at the time the school year started. Here's the lob low to Bickett. Bickett is stripped of the basketball, and Wayne Summers picks up the foul. When you really consider the inside pressure West Frankfort is playing, and as effective as they've been, they are not in any foul difficulty. Mike Henson has 2. He's the only, well, so does Andy Fiore. Of course, Fiore's a perimeter player, basically. Brad Bickett, who is usually money at the bank, will be at the free throw line. One in the bonus. Got it. First point for high-scoring Brad Bickett, the tournament scoring leader. Not the tempo of this ball game is going to allow a big scoring outburst. Second throw by Brad Bickett is good. He got up there. So it's 8-5. Ohio back within 3. Now Ohio's going to some full court pressure. Bickett almost stole it. Andy Fiore drives the ball down against Lance Harris, pulls it up over Tim Fair and got it. Andy Fiore. No hesitation there. He exploded down the near sideline as we view it, and as you view it at home, hit that pull-up jumper, 10-5. Lance Harris. Harris with Fiore on it. He backpedals to Dave Dorn. They look for Bickett. That's Bickett at the baseline. Reverse. Blocked by Pulaski. Foul on Pulaski. Probably Lloyd Johnson's strategy is to continue to take it inside and try to get West Frankfort in foul trouble, Bob. We're going to see it again.
I can see that. Yes, Tom Pulaski got him here. See, across the arm. You know, though, Fred Bickett made a tremendous drive on the baseline to draw the foul. He came the opposite side of the court.
Yeah. You wonder how he sneaks in there so many times.
That's true.
Well, Bickett nails the free throw, and it's a 10-6 ball game. Lloyd Johnson wants a timeout, but Bickett puts down this free throw, which he does. And, of course, you talk about positive thinking. Johnson says call timeout when he makes it, not if he makes it. Timeout, Ohio. It's Frankfort 10, Ohio 7, and one of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance. 4:20 left to go in the game's second quarter. Here's Pulaski almost going by a diving Tim Fairhurst. Henson feeds low to Dwayne Summers off the fingertips of one of the Ohio Bulldogs. And the basketball will be in the hands of the Redbirds. Tom Pulaski will trigger it in. Ohio sits up in its 1-3-1 zone. They go to Pulaski, left corner. Good rebound by Summers, fouled by Fairhurst. Immediately, Lance Harris asking the official for a 1-and-1.
You know, you wonder about this. Looks like a lot of ball here. Looks like lots of ball. I guess he must have had his arm.
No way it would have been a 1-and-1. They aren't even on the bonus.
No,
never hurt to ask, though, does it?
You never know. A mistake could be made.
That's the free throw line, Dwayne Summers. Well, same effect as a 1-and-1, although he gets the second throw here. Deutsch Alice, I'm your local Deutsch Alice dealer. Hope you're enjoying the tournament today, and Deutsch Alice invites you to be watching again tonight at 6 o'clock. Summers' second throw. So Dwayne Summers with a total of 9. That's a lot of points in this ball game. 15-10. West Frankfort leading by 5. 4-minute mark, second quarter. Frankfort has led. They jumped into a 6-0 lead at the quarter. Pickett. Right back out to Dave Dorn. He takes a long left-handed push. Dave Dorn looks like he's hardly going to get the ball there. And it stops where he wants it to, right in the middle of the hoop. 15-12. 3-point lead, West Frankfort on the dribble drive. Henson. Rebound, Bickett deflects to Harris. Down on the floor goes Dwayne Summers of the Redbirds. Lance Harris up. Great move. Down the lane. Harris has the ball swatted away. Stolen by Pulaski, and Pulaski is fouled by Darren Schultz. Foul number 2 on Schultz. This Ohio ball club, gentlemen, really puts the heat on officials, don't they? When you're trying to penetrate like they are and make the moves inside, there is a call to be made or a no call on every play. That's true, I guess, anything in basketball, but when they're forcing the issue.
I agree with that, and it makes it a little tough. You know where the guy's moving on defense or where the guy's charging. You really got to make a big decision there, and you got to do it quickly.
Tom Pulaski at the line, 1-and-1. Now he does have a 1-and-1. And he doesn't have a point. As it spins off of there. Rebound, Lance Harris, 5-10. He roars down, kicks the pass out to Bickett. Bickett's going to try it at long range. Rebound pulled down by Dwayne Summers, and finally Summers struggles out of traffic off to Henson. 3-point lead to Frankfort with 3:10 to go in the half. Henson goes down the lane, and Fairhurst hooked him. Got him with the knee, I believe. Tim Fairhurst picks up foul number 2. And going to the free throw line now in a 1-on-1 situation will be Mike Henson. You can see the intensity of the young men's faces in this very, very hard-fought ball game. Not a spectacular game in the scoring column, but this is like the Bruce brothers going at it out there. Henson. 5 big points for West Frankfort here in the game's second quarter. They nudge on top by half a dozen, 16-12. Or by 4, actually. Second throw is up. Now by 5. Well, they got half a dozen. 17-12 ball game. 5-point lead to West Frankfort. Lance Harris across. Now we look a little man-to-man, I believe, from the Redbirds. Boy, they really sag back in the paint. Harris stops. He shoots. Rebound. Lance Harris picks it up. He'll go right back to the hole and blocked again. Swatted away on the inside by Henson. Here is Snyder on the draw. To Fiore, but he traveled. One too many passes. I thought Chris Snyder was going to pull up and take about the 12-footer there straight away. But he skidded to a stop and walked with it. So down 5, the Ohio Bulldogs have the basketball. And the young man who really played well for them last night, Greg Johnston, a sophomore, is going to come in, a 6'6" little guy, 204-pounder. He'll be checking in here shortly for David Lee. A little hooking going on inside, and here is a foul against Henson. His third. You don't suppose Frank Masoni, that David Lee knew he had a fellow like Johnston coming up at West Frankfort High School, and a couple of those youngsters, Tom Pulaski, that when he decided to take the job down there?
No chance whatsoever. He didn't do his research at all, I'm sure. He probably knows where they go to grade school in West Frankfort for the next 5 years.
Absolutely. Ferrer at the line. He got it. Tim Ferrer, who is not a good free throw shooter normally. 37% on the season. 17-13. There's Lloyd Johnson.
Speaking of Lloyd Johnson and David Lee, I think we'd be remiss without once again mentioning how great the coaching is in the state of Illinois. High school coaching in Illinois is superb.
How can any coach sit back calmly in a situation like this? A lot of them don't, but many of them do as well. Free throw Ferrer. In and out, and the rebound to Greg Johnson. He's the young man we were mentioning. This came in. Johnson the ball didn't cross the 10-second line. He's all right.
That's right.
He stepped into the offensive zone, but the ball never went with him, and it was not an over and back.
All 3 points has to be there.
Yep.
Both feet in the ball.
Harris really forced the shot. It's caromed off, and the ball goes to West Frankfort. Lance Harris really forced one top of the circle. 17-13. Frankfort still leads it by 4 with 2:03 to go in the first half. Baseline shot, good. Newcomer to the Frankfort lineup is David Lewis. Lewis, 6'2", 181, a junior, makes it 19-13. 6-point lead to West Frankfort. They are the keeper of the 2 ball clubs, as you might well imagine. Ohio loses the ball in the turnover, and West Frankfort will have it back. West Frankfort, a school of 700 in enrollment, and the Bulldogs from Ohio represent a school of 70. 19-13. A big minute and 40 seconds, particularly for Ohio. They need to close, and if not, West Frankfort can really dictate tempo in the second half on them. Pulaski is fouled by Darren Schultz. That's 3 on Schultz. This will bring in Todd Etheridge, the freshman for Ohio.
Art, what did you say Ohio had? 18 seniors?
Nobody could confirm that. I've asked him Lloyd Johnson this morning. 18 was a senior class. Tom Pulaski was missed the early free throw in the afternoon at that line. Well, Pulaski's on the scorecard for the first time. He'll have one more, first time today. Averages 13 points a game on the season. 79% free throw shooter. Not the guy you want to put up there if you're the opposition. This is a good look at Tom. Just a junior. 6'5", 195. Measures that second throw, 21-13. Frankfort leads it by 8 with a minute and a half to go in the half. Lance Johnson up for Ohio. Frankfort's done the best job anyone's done this season of cutting off Harris and Bickett. Here's Todd Etheridge, the freshman, posting low. To Dorn. Dorn to Bickett. Bickett circles out front. Pulaski moves to it. Bickett to the baseline. Pulls up. Jumper by Brad is not going to go. And on the rebound, a whistle and a foul. On Lance Harris.
Yes.
He was pushing off, trying to get rebounding position on the offensive board. On Harris, it was foul number 2.
Hard to talk about West Frankfort. They've only got 1 senior on the court right now. And here they are trying for a title game tonight.
You think David Lee might have known that, huh?
Small hunch.
Lee is at his 5th coaching job, by the way. He has a great overall record. His best years was McLeansboro. 10 years, he was 212 and 75, won a state championship, and had a runner-up there. Pulaski nails that one. He'll have one more throw, and suddenly it's a 42-13 Frankfort lead. They can lead by 10 right here. At Carbondale, David Lee was 56 and 66. Second throw. Rebound. Ferrer. All right, off to Lance Harris. A minute and 5 to go, first half. Harris feeds Bickett. Bickett dribble drive to the hoop, and he is fouled by Greg Johnston. However, West Frankfort is passing the fouls around. They're not getting anybody in deep foul trouble. See a pretty good foul on here.
Greg Johnson has a tendency to get in foul trouble. He plays all out all the time, and he really goes at the shooter.
Well, that's kind of a luxury when you have a front line of Pulaski, Henson, and Summers. You can tell Johnson to go in. There's a good look at Greg. Go full blow, which he does. Pickett's free throw won't go.
What's frustrating to Lance Harris is he's coming down and he's getting the pick, and either direction he goes, he runs into a taller guy. That's what he's the defense in start with.
Brad Pickett, who had missed 2 in a row at the line, this cages one, so he now has a total of 6 points, all on free throws. Pickett hasn't had a field goal yet, and we have 57 seconds to go in the half. 22-14. Redbirds from West Frankfort have played a magnificent game defensively. Lewis to Pulaski. Right back out front now. He gets the ball off to Chris Snyder. Glances up at the clock. To Fiore. Now they look at Lewis on the left wing. They have Johnson posting up down low. 36 seconds to go in the half. And David Lee like to run it down, get one shot here at the end of the half. He's got an 8-point lead right now on Ohio. Fiore well out on the floor. Bounce pass to Chris Snyder. Snyder slides into 14 and then fires off to Pulaski. Pulaski, as you can see, left side, pretty good ball control. We're down to 18 seconds and counting in the first half. West Frankfort out of the South 7 Conference leading the Ohio Bulldogs from the Indian Valley by a score of 22-14. 9 seconds to go in the half. Here's Snyder to Fiore. He'll take it. Rebound, followed by Pulaski is good. That's the buzzer. Falling away, Tom Pulaski got his first field goal, a line drive jump shot right at the buzzer, and at halftime we've got a 10-point ball game. As West Frankfort with a magnificent first half on top 24-14, and one of your network sponsors is the American Dairy Association of Illinois. Floor, little man-to-man, it's still there, 2-2-1. Trapping zone press, the Frankfort's handled that extremely well. The Redbirds go down the right corner, and they come right back out front to a good, steady ball player in Mike Henson. Snyder, bounce pass, and Harris is called for the reach-in. That's foul number 3 on Lance Harris. So he picks up his 3rd foul early on in the game's 3rd quarter. West Frankfort will inbound.
I think he's a little bit frustrated on his offensive game. He's letting that get to him, and you know it's a bad time to get your dauber down.
Yeah, I don't really think so. Harris's style of play is of such a nature, Bob. Normally, if I hadn't seen the kid so often, I would say that's true, but I think he's just trying to create something. Of course, when you're not playing well offensively, who knows? Sure it does. No doubt about it. Snyder, right side to Summers. To Pulaski, his turnaround. Almost went down. Rebound, Summers. Wayne Summers, big play. He just hung in there. Summers, kind of a small center in high school basketball, height-wise. He's 6'1", he weighs 200 pounds, and he gets planted does a fine job. 26-16, West Frankfort leading the Ohio Bulldogs. Ohio was ranked number 11 during the latter stages of the basketball season. Here's Darren Schultz with the ball fake. Can't get it down. The rebound is controlled. Taken off by Chris Snyder for West Frankfort. Snyder to Mike Henson. Totopoulos waiting in the wings to play the winner. Totopoulos over hoops at East Lynn, 58-43 in the first game, which started at 11 o'clock this morning. 11:15 to be specific. We'll be with you tonight at 6 o'clock. Fiore from the side. Won't go. Harris with the board. Harris thunders down to 2-on-2 situation. Lance Harris with only his 2nd field goal. 26-18 Frankfort. Who do they prefer down there, Bob? Frankfort or West Frankfort? That's your neck of the woods.
Well, we call it West Frankfort.
Frankfort Community High School at West Frankfort, right?
That's right.
On the drive, Henson loses the basketball. But it comes out to Tom Pulaski. Pulaski to Henson, off to Snyder. Here's Henson. Just barely missed that one. Pickett had the rebound, and Pickett was fouled by Dwayne Summers. Talk about a couple of physical kids colliding. That's 3 fouls on Dwayne Summers. Pickett is no shrinking violet, nor is Mr. Summers. Pickett was rubbing his shoulder a little bit as they came out from underneath. Ohio with the basketball.
Brian Summers kind of just rolls around back there on defense.
All right, Lance Harris dishes to Pickett. They grab Pickett on the wrist. And the shot obviously had no chance and no whistle. The Ohio bench a little upset. Across with it is Henson. Pulaski well out on the floor. Double team by Harris and Pickett. We're in the third quarter, 26-18, 8-point lead for West Frankfort. They're content to run some clock, of course, and play for that really high percentage shot. Henson misfires. Here's Harris. He's got 3 men to beat. Harris explodes around Henson. He goes the route and laid an elbow out, which actually caught Snyder, but Snyder was called for the blocking foul. So it was a maneuver.
Again, this is a good foul. With a shirt, too.
Yeah, see the elbow go out?
That's right. He actually made him foul him.
There's another look at it.
He gave him a good he gave him a good shot.
When you're 5'10 and drive in against big guys, you learn a lot of tricks of the trade, and Harris still can't get a free throw down. He's 1 out of 3 today. 26-18.
That was Snyder's first foul.
Lance Harris scores on the second. We're seeing a prime example of why coaches preach defense. All of us in the media get sick and tired of hearing coaches talk defense, but when your shooting goes awry, the only chance you have is to hit the boards and play the good defense, and Frankfurt is doing that today, very definitely. Ohio hasn't played bad defensively, fellas.
I think they've done a good job defensively. Better than I expected.
Pretty tough out of that 1-3-1. They haven't forced a lot of turnovers, however. 7-point lead to West Frankfurt, the Redbirds of Coach David Lee with the basketball. Darren Schultz try for the steal. Wayne Summers in the left corner gets the ball to Henson. Little pop. Mike Henson now with 8 points.
Mike Henson's been a steady ball player both the games that they've played up here. Real steady ball.
They're their best perimeter threat, I think.
Yes.
Lance Harris across. 28-19. Tim Fairhurst. Fairhurst to Bickett. Bickett back out to Harris. Here's Harris.
Oh, gee.
Tried to draw the foul. Bickett gets it back. A whistle finally, and a foul is called underneath. Foul was whistled on Mike Henson. That's his fourth.
Actually, he got fouled early. This was the second or third foul here that was called.
So many of Bickett and Harris's moves, being quite candid about it, are predicated on drawing the foul. And if they aren't getting that kind of a whistle, they can be defensed like they're being defensed today. The free throw by Bickett is good. Bickett now with 7 points, and incredibly, the tournament scoring leader has not scored a field goal as yet.
That's the fourth foul on Mike Henson, too.
Timeout taken by the Redbirds of West Frankfort. And one of your network sponsors is the Gal Pfizer Genetics. Polk has had a bit more into the picture. Mike Henson has 4 fouls. Of course, Wayne Summers has 3. For Ohio, it's Lance Harris with 3. We'll be with you at 6 o'clock tonight, of course, with before the tip-off show, and that'll be followed by our coverage of the third-place ball game and then the battle for the Class A state championship. So we certainly invite you to join us. Brad Bickett at the line. Brad made the first free throw. He has 1 more attempt. He doesn't get it. The rebound taken away by the sophomore, Greg Johnson. All right, Johnson clears it off to Chris Snyder. Snyder looked to Fiore, but instead goes to Pulaski. Pulaski holding high, comes right back out front to Chris Snyder. That's Dave Doran on him, number 34. Look inside, Fairhurst trying to box out and play in front of Pulaski. Greg Johnson, a 6'6", slides in there, gets the ball to Fiore. Fiore right back off to Pulaski to Johnson. Now you see the result. Good ball movement by West Frankfort. They lead by 10 at 30-20. West Frankfort, a very, very determined, well-drilled basketball team, playing very well this afternoon and doing a great defensive job. Here's Bickett. Bickett off to Schultz. This is the first game probably in a long while Ohio really needs a lift from somebody besides Harris and Bickett. Fairhurst tries to go to the hoop. The ball is blocked.
Art, West Frankfort, you're right, is really playing well, but I think Harris and Bickett will make a run at him.
I would think so. Here's Fiore's jumper. All right, Lance Harris picks it off the floor. He comes up on the dribble drive through the center circle. Harris looking inside, lobs to Dave Doran. Back to Harris. Harris takes the shot against Fiore, gets it off to Schultz. Rebound in the corner, loose ball to Wayne Summers. Summers to Fiore. Fiore gets the ball to Greg Johnson. Johnson almost lost to Bickett, but he clears it off to Snyder. Snyder pull-up jumper. Rebound by Summers is good. Let's see if the basket's going to count. A foul was called on Greg Johnson underneath. Summers tipped the ball in for West Frankfort.
I believe the basket was good because it was before the foul. Shot was in the air.
Yeah, apparently the basket did count.
The basket is good by number 43.
And the foul, when they sorted out, was whistled on Greg Johnston, his second. All right, 2 minutes and a half to go, third quarter. 12-point lead to West Frankfort over Ohio. Harris, rebound, Schultz. Schultz is hammered underneath. Now the foul column could become a big factor in the fourth quarter of this one. That's on Chris Snyder. It's only his second. But I like the Redbird depth. There's David Lee on the bench, and David trying to help the official out a little bit. Got a lot of that going on every year, every night of the wintertime.
The only difference, you have to stay seated now and do it.
We haven't discussed the bench decorum rule this year. I think any followers of high school basketball out there are familiar with it, but those of you who don't see a lot of prep balls, Coach has to stay seated this year. Or the technical, and that's Darren Schultz. I think early on there were a lot of tees called, but really I haven't heard that there's much of a problem with that rule. Coaches don't like it.
No, you don't have the communication with your players as you do to be able to get up beside the floor, talk to them.
I don't think the fans like it as well either.
Not quite as much entertainment. But they think things keep calmer in a heated contest. And they probably do. Pulaski on the drive, and here's Johnson called for a foul. Obviously, that big guy gets to start throwing his body around. And he is a factor. Okay, we're going to see this little push and shoving.
Greg Johnson has a tendency to get in foul trouble. I've seen him before. he goes all out.
Now, Brad Bickett at the line for Ohio, where Brad just hasn't had a day either. He and Harris have both struggled. Very few times. They haven't held a reasonably hot hand anyway. Bickett's free throw is up and out. So Bickett now with a total of 8 points, all at the free throw line. 32-22. He can pull Ohio within 9. Doesn't. Rebound. Scramble. Foul. Foul on Darren Schultz. On Schultz, it's foul number 4. So he becomes the first Ohio Bulldog to pick up his 4th personal. And Ohio, that's team foul number 2 here in the third quarter as Todd Etheridge is going to come on. Being bounded by the Frankfort Redbirds, the first one of Chris Snyder. They're going with Snyder, number 52. He'll inbound the basketball. There you see the freshman Todd Etheridge, 14-year-old that came in the game. Fiore to Snyder to Summers. To Johnson, the sophomore, low to Pulaski. Good ball movement by West Frankfort. They lead now by 12 at 34-22. Ohio just hasn't been able to make a run at this club. Lance Harris across for the Bulldogs. Stops straight away. Gets the ball off to Fairher, to Etheridge, right back to Harris. Looking inside, nothing there. Good defense, and we're going to have a jump ball situation. Fairher gets tangled up with Chris Snyder, and they will jump it. We'll see his possession. I believe West Frankfort. 12-point difference right now. West Frankfort and Ohio battling in the third period of this one. 1 minute and 34 left to go in the quarter. Topolis the winner earlier today. Fiore, Chris Snyder. Left side to Dwayne Summers over the zone defense. Fiore down low, Pulaski. Pulaski pops another one. So Pulaski now with a total of 9 points. 2 big buckets back-to-back. That's the biggest lead for West Frankfort. They're up 14.
They get up that 10, 12-point lead. They'll play a little bit faster tempo.
Here's Brad Bickett. Bickett can't buy it from the outer iron. Rebound pulled down by big Greg Johnson. Johnson gets it off now to Chris Snyder. For the South Severn Conference representative, Snyder walks it across. Well out on the floor. Down to 53 seconds to play. Third quarter. David Lee's ball club has it going, and going very well right now. With a 14-point lead, 45 seconds left to play in Chapter 3. Fiore to Snyder. Left the ball down in the corner on the jump pass to Pulaski. Good ball movement. This team handles the ball well. They'll play for 1. All right, Snyder. Right back to Pulaski. Long tries to move inside. Can't do so. Comes right back out front to Chris Snyder.
I think Pulaski will be moving inside about right now.
Down to 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. Tim Fairher watching Greg Johnson in there. Right to front Johnson. Johnson now slips in the left side of the lane. They go in the corner. This is Pulaski. He's going to take the shot. And Fairher picks up a foul with 2 seconds to go in the third period. Lloyd Johnson didn't want that either. Foul number 3 on Tim Fairher.
I don't think Dave Lee wanted that shot to Pulaski out that far from the goal either.
There's Lloyd Johnson, not too happy with the turn of events right now. His team is so explosive, though, that, like Frank says, you never know, but they're going to have to really heat up. Ball inbounded. Pulaski almost got it. He almost got it. That ball just kind of hugged the rim and rolled away. Popped off of there. 3 periods of history. 36-22, Frankfort. And one of your network sponsors is Century Company's Insurance. Period breakdown. There it is. That's the chilly shooting we were talking about. Free throws, 12 of 19 for Ohio, 8 of 12 for West Frankfort. Rebounds, 32-18, the Redbirds, and turnovers. West Frankfort was 7, Ohio was 4. We're into the final period. Brad Bickett, they have a 10 pitcher on him. 3 players. Out front to Harris. Harris can't get it down. Whistle on the rebound. Let's see what they're going to call. And Greg Johnson, I think, has picked up another one. That's his 4th. Very, very physical inside. There was a graphic display right there. You see Johnson smiling about a little bit. He's going to leave. What a triple team. The heat was really on Bickett, but it ended up with Fairher being fouled. Johnson leaves, and back in comes the starter, Mike Henson. 1-1 to Tim Fairher. Got it.
This also brings another ball handler into the lineup. Now they'll move Andy Fioria down on the lower baseline and gives them a 3rd man to throw to.
He'll work the corner probably.
Right.
One more throw to Fairher.
Use your run time off with him.
Tim Fairher nets a pair of free throws. 3 points and 3 of 4 this afternoon at the line. 36-24. Frankfurt by 12. Ohio with little karate-type pressure as they try to go to the basketball. They steal it. Here's Fairher. Fairher is wrapped up in the defensive zone. Frankfurt bench wanted traveling. Harris. Outer iron. Rolls away, and again, the ball goes back to Frankfurt. The Bulldogs just haven't been able to convert. They've come up with steals, come down. That was a pretty good shot by Lance Harris.
Well, yesterday, all those were going in.
Yep. All right, bringing the ball up as Henson. He's stripped of it by Harris. Harris lays it in. So Lance Harris now with a total of 8 points. 36-26. Ohio back within 10. Trying to make a run.
A lot of time, Art.
Oh, yeah. They've extended that pressure, too. Off this time to Dwayne Summers. Summers thunders in. Let's see. It's going to be a double dribble. And David Lee. Now, there's your veteran coach. Lee on his feet immediately. Said, whoa, I've seen enough of this. Timeout West Frankfort. 7:04 to go. West Frankfort by 10. And one of your network sponsors is the American Dairy Association of Illinois. Overtime, of course. It's been a season of a lot of overtime contests. We had one in this tournament, of course, last night, the final quarterfinal game, and West Frankfort moved to this one with a 64-59 overtime win over Kewanee. Now the crowd has gotten into it, I'll tell you. Brad Bickett for Ohio. 10-point lead. Here is Bickett. He was hammered as he rolled inside, and Summers just fouled him out. Or fouled up, I think, of his 4th. He picked up foul number 4.
I think Summers here have him with a knee. Yeah, real good knee.
Bickett tried to go off tackle and was slowed down in the pursuit of the basket.
Lloyd Johnson's just going to go to Bickett and Harris and say, beat us if you can.
Free throw by Bickett. Absolutely. That's been the story all year long. This basketball team, taking nothing away from the other youngsters who certainly play roles, but they have been doing just that, playing roles all season. Not in a position where they've had to pick up the scoring load, the offensive load necessarily. Bickett nets a pair.
That's 6 straight points now by Ohio.
Ohio back within 8. Now, on other occasions this afternoon, West Frankfort has responded in this situation with a bucket of their own. We'll see. Ohio trying to make a run. Early stages, final chapter. On the drive, it's Chris Snyder. Goes into the right corner. Here's Snyder looking against Bickett. Now out front to Henson. That's Lance Harris on him. He's got him with the body, too. They clear off now to Snyder. Frankfurt will become deliberate as much as possible. They'll try to run some time, control it. Here's Summers. Cross to Henson. His shot is in and out. Big rebound. Tim Fairher for Ohio. Okay, Lance Harris pushes it up. Knocked away from behind. Controlled by Darren Schultz. Schultz back out there playing with 4 fouls. His shot is good. Offensive foul, no basket. And Schultz is this foul out of the ball game. So Ohio loses Darren Schultz on fouls with 6:16 to go. waved off by official Richard Carter. 3 points for Schultz. See it again. Yep, looks like he was planted.
I believe you're right.
Not me, Richard Carter, the official.
Yeah, he was right.
All right, Ohio's desperately trying to claw their way back with 6 minutes left. Frankfort with the basketball. Mr. Cool, Chris Snyder out there. He's an easy ruffle. Here's Fiore. Can't get the layup home on the board, and it's Summers over the back of there.
That's a 5th foul on Summers.
Dwayne Summers fouls out.
Really, Summers did not have position here, and he just went right on in after it.
Yep. There you see him. Well, we have 5:53 to play.
Greg Johnson has 4 fouls.
Yeah, Johnson comes back in with 4. Mike Hinson is playing with 4. Well, we had suggested earlier in the game this could be a problem, and there's Darren Schultz sitting on the Ohio bench. He's already fouled out. Summers was the big factor, particularly early for West Frankfort. He had 5 fielders for the Redbirds and 3 free throws for a total of 13. Dave Doran at the line. His throw won't go. Pulaski on the rebound, deflected out of bounds by Pickett.
Ohio has not shot their free throws well either on this comeback.
No, they haven't. Second half, they've missed 5. 36-28. Snyder off to Henson. To Greg Johnson. Down low to Pulaski. He just fired it hard off the glass. Rebound long, loose on the floor. Picked up by Snyder. Hook layup. Chris Snyder got the loose basketball and poked it in, and West Frankfort leads it by 10 again. 5 minutes and 27 seconds left. Lance Harris up. Ohio needs points. They need him in a hurry. Harris with the penetration. Rolls it up. Lance Harris just kind of changed pace with the dribble. Went down the lane. Hit the hook layup.
There wasn't much room for him to get through, but made a beautiful move.
38-30 ball game. 8-point lead West Frankfort. The South 7 Conference representatives break the pressure to Andy Fiore. Fiore right side. Pickett and Fairher double team. Pulaski out front to Hinson. Hinson now to Pulaski. Good ball movement by West Frankfort. They go on the left wing to Greg Johnson. 6'6" sophomore. Hinson post up inside. Here's Snyder. Back to Hinson. To Fiore. Fiore has a screen. Fires up an air ball. Taken down by Todd Etheridge, the freshman. Here's Etheridge up quickly. To Dave Doran. Doran launches it. Won't go. Rebound. Pulled down by Hinson. Knocked away by Dave Doran to Pickett. Pickett power move for 2. Pickett. Ohio wants a timeout. Ohio's back within 6. They want a timeout. They get it. Timeout for the Ohio Bulldogs. They close within 6 at 38-32. 4:25 to go. And we'll be back in just a minute. For West Frankfort, the Redbirds. Played a steady game. Hasn't scored a lot, but that's not his role. Free throw. Won't go. Loose basketball, Lance Harris. 3-on-3. See what Harris does. Watch him. Here's Pickett from the side. Pickett now has popped in 3 buckets in this quarter. He's got a 40-36 game. West Frankfort by 4 with 3 minutes left. Greg Johnson holding. Almost stolen by Pickett. They're going to call a foul on Pickett. Double team was on. Pickett was there. Todd Etheridge was there. Pickett picks up his 4th. Ohio has already lost. Darren Schultz on fouls. He left with 6:16. Frankfort has lost. Dwayne Summers with foul. 5:53. He checked out. At the line, Greg Johnson has had no free throw attempts in this particular ballgame.
Frankfort has missed all the free throws down the stretch too here, Art.
It's not exactly a clinic from the 15-foot line, is it? Throw no good. The Pulaski boards, and Etheridge collides with it and commits the foul. Todd Etheridge.
Art, Brad Pickett has 8 points here in the 4th quarter to bring Ohio back. They're within 4.
16-point ball game for Pickett. He had 36 points last night. Harris had 28. At the line, Tom Pulaski. Pulaski with a 9-point performance. He's in a 1-1 situation. The team leads it by 4 with 2:55 left.
Tom Pulaski Pulaski is a good free throw shooter.
Money free throw.
Yes, he is.
79% at the line. Very good. 5-point lead to Frankfort, 41-36. Another nail-biter here in this Class A state tournament. This is the semifinal round. Got it back out. Pulaski with the basketball, and Etheridge fouls him. Again, Todd Etheridge battling for the basketball.
I don't think there was much choice there.
Well, they don't have
That
much,
one.
no, they don't have much choice either. They're going to have to foul
Yeah.
anyway. It's a 5-point difference, and with a team like West Frankfort that plays at their tempo, that's a much bigger lead than it might be with some other clubs. Pulaski, however, not having a great day at the line. He's 4 out of 7. He's up there again. That was halfway down and came out. All right, Lance Harris. He can pull Ohio within 3. Pickett post up. Harris takes the jumper. Lance Harris, 41-38. Frankfort leads it by 3 with 2:36, and Harris knocks it away. Off to Pickett. Here's Pickett on the drive. No good. Pickett boards. He scores. 41-40, and Frankfort has to take a timeout. Ohio battling back. 2:24 left. And one of your network sponsors is Deutsch Hallis. To Pickett. And suddenly they have the ball going back down on the attack. Scoring in this quarter. Ohio has outscored Frankfort 18-5. 16 of the 18 points between Pickett and Harris.
10-point quarter by Pickett, Art. That's a big one.
And 6, of course, for Lance Harris. All right, 41-40. 2:24 left. Stick around. This may get interesting. West Frankfort inbound. Over to Mike Henson. Cross court. They use them now. Tom Pulaski back in the defensive zone against this press. There's the long pass. They have a man free. Fiore, who's got it? Andy Fiore. Very excellent patience. Outstanding patience that time by Frankfort. They got the long bomb. They lead it by 3 at 43-40 with 2:03 left. Etheridge to Pickett to Harris. Harris around Fiore, pulls it up. Rebound. Harris battles. Kicks the pass off to Etheridge, and the freshman comes out of traffic with it. Out front to Dave Doran. 1:50 left to go. Here's Harris. Harris bounce pass intercepted. Picked off by Snyder. Snyder roars down for West Frankfort. He's stripped of the basketball. And the foul flag is going to be called on Tim Fairher. Ball rolled loose in the corner. Mike Henson had it, and Fairher Willie went after it. On Fairher, it's foul number 4. The desire of the youngsters in this ball game, as you see throughout the tournament, of course, but the desire is tremendous. The effort is tremendous.
Well, this is the second ball game this afternoon that you've seen that great intensity level. Both teams playing hard. Both games have been the same.
And both will be playing tonight. One for third, one for the championship. Free throw by Henson. Pickett. Foul by Johnson at the line. Greg Johnson has just fouled out as he collided with Brad Pickett. And so Johnson leaves with 1:40 left to go in the ball game. 43-40. Frankfort leading by 3. Brad Pickett can pull his club within 1. Greg Johnson this afternoon, the big sophomore, was a 4-point scorer. Country Companies Insurance, and it's more than 900 agents. Hope you're enjoying this Class A tournament. They invite you to be with us next week for the AA action and the Girls Championships March 22nd. All right, Brad Pickett at the free throw line. Most important free throws of the season for the senior veteran. 1-1. West Frankfort 43. Ohio 40. Dave Doran yells at his teammate on the line. Steve Doran there, number 34, yells, "Come on, Brad." A little encouragement from his teammate, and he got the first one. So Pickett makes it 43-41. Highly poised West Frankfort, though, has responded to every threat. They come up with a big play of their own. Second throw, Pickett. He got up there. With the chips on the line, he netted 2. 43-42. Frankfort by a point again with 1:36 to go. They have never trailed in the ball game. They led 6-0 at the quarter. Here is Chris Snyder. Pulls it up. Rebound, Lance Harris. Ohio with a chance to take the lead. Ohio with a chance to go on top. They're down 1 at 43-42. You see the clock. A lot of time left in this one. Here's Harris. Dorn. Air ball. Rebound. Etheridge. Almost went. Pulled Henson, big rebound for West Frankfort off to Pulaski. Pulaski loses, gets it back. Whirls the ball to Fiore. Fiore shot won't go. Pickett with the rebound. We're down to 57 seconds off to Lance Harris, and now let's see what Ohio's going to do. They're going to take the timeout. Timeout for Ohio. 57 seconds left, make it 52. It's Frankfurt 43, Ohio 42. And one of your network sponsors is Lasso. Back, 43-43. 43 seconds left. That's all you see on the scoreboard right now in the Assembly Hall. There you look at Brad Bickett. Chance to get his team its first lead. He does. Ohio 44, West Frankfurt 43. Down to 40 seconds. Here's Chris Snyder to Pulaski. Pulaski lobs out front to Henson. 33 seconds, you see the clock. 1 point lead to Ohio on the 2 free throws by Bickett. Fiore to Lewis. Down to 24 seconds. Here's Mike Henson holding. Very shortly, the Redbirds will go for it. 16 seconds. And David Lee wants a timeout, and he's going to take it right here. Frankfurt takes its last timeout. All right, Bob Dallas, 12 seconds left. Ohio leads at 44-43.
I definitely feel that the ball will go into Tom Pulaski, and I think they'll do it probably with about 6 seconds to go. I think Pulaski will be the guy to get the ball.
That has been what they've done in similar situations in this tournament. Of course, Pulaski at 6'5" has the height, a pretty good perimeter shooter as well. Here's Lloyd Johnson.
I definitely feel Pulaski will handle the ball because of the free throw shooting ability too. I think they're springing him up high, off about the free throw line.
All right, there's a good look at both benches during this critical timeout. Good work by our camera crew and getting the sound in there. We're able to hear the view of the comments. This is the barn burner of the tournament. There's no doubt about that. Ohio 44, Frankfurt 43. 12 seconds left. The Redbirds will have the basketball. No lineup changes. Ohio has gone the distance ever since Darren Schultz fouled out with Dave Dorn, Fairher, Etheridge, Harris, and Bickett. All right, West Frankfurt. It'll be Mike Henson to trigger it in. Pulaski is number 50. Now Fiore and Chris Snyder talking things over. 12 seconds, but that can be an eternity in a basketball game. All right, the ball inbounded to Snyder. Out front now to Henson. Pretty good outside shooter.
Snyder's going to the corner.
There's Pulaski. Fiore tips it. Fiore tips it again. Bickett rebounds it with 2 seconds. 2 seconds left. Brad Bickett grabbed the rebound. What a tremendous play by Bickett. And a foul was called underneath. A foul was whistled against West Frankfort. Watch it again. There you see it again and again. Bickett slipped inside and came down with a clutch rebound. The foul on Chris Snyder, his third, but the big factor is Brad Bickett will go to the line 1-1.
Frankfurt had 3 chances.
Indeed they did. Ohio 2 seconds away from a meeting with Tutopolis for the state championship. However, with a 1-point lead, you can bet that Lloyd Johnson wants at least 1 free throw, and he'd like to have them both. What a comeback. What a comeback run by Ohio. 14 down starting this quarter. Not playing well, not shooting well.
16% shooting.
Harris and Bickett took over. Harris still hasn't had a great shooting night. All right, up the line, Bickett. 2 seconds left. He got it. Brad Bickett nets it. The smallest school ever to play in the Illinois State Tournament. Leads it by 2. 45-43. One more shot to Brad Bickett. Brad Isaac, second throw. No good. All right, 1 second left. Ball is thrown down the floor by Pulaski. No good, and it's all over. Frank Mazzoni has got Lloyd Johnson with him. Lloyd's going to go over to shake hands with David Lee, then he'll be back for a visit. So we'll keep it right here. Ohio, the Ohio Bulldogs. Keep the Cinderella story going. 45-43 over West Frankfort. Frank Mazzoni.
physically drained. We were so far back, I told the kids, don't give up. We're going to come back. They're going to get tired. We get our game going, and we did. We made our free throws there in the end. We took the boards away from them. I'm just so proud. I just don't know what to say. I'm so drained.
14 down going into the final.